I've been out of the office for about a month, so the day-to-day happenings such as construction and desk moves etc. have not been communicated to me. This morning I get to the office at 7:30 a.m. and one of the facilities guys comes up to me and casually says, "The electricians are cutting power to the server room sometime today." Enter panic mode now. I state that they can't just turn off the power to the data center. There is a process that needs to happen for downtime. People need to be notified, other buildings need to prepare for continued manufacturing without access to work orders. I start messaging management asking what the hell is happening. Management asks if we can run on the generator while power is off. I have no answer for that, so I run off to find the facilities manager and electricians to ask. The electrician informs they did not need to turn off the electricity in the server room, that they turned off the electricity off for a small portion of the front office just long enough to move that breaker up a row so they can install the breakers for the new AC unit, and that they have already done it and my data center is safe. If anyone needs me, I will be hiding under my desk softly sobbing from this traumatic experience. Apologies for length. You've been warned. So, several years ago I was in a role that required imaging and building systems. Thankfully we used a commercial product that was able to network boot systems, lay down a baseline OS, then install software packages, updates, configuration files, corporate settings, etc. It worked quite well after I'd spent some time with the product, and on average a complete system build could be completed in under an hour, under 45 minutes on average. A few tweaks for the individual users were needed afterwards, but these took about 5-10 minutes and worked nearly automatically. A desktop tech sets up the build process, clicks go and watches, waits for the system to complete while answering email, gets coffee. Whatever. They built a few dozen systems daily. I worked with the server and system build team and had little to do or nothing to do with delivering systems to actual users. That was desktop support. A few months go by and a manager for the desktop support group, we'll call her P, faces criticism that her group takes much too long to get systems to users. Sometimes this was a few days, but sometimes a week or more. I'd heard complaints from her staff they'd been forbidden to deploy any system to any user prior to either her or her assistant having a look at the systems and reviewing them for approval. This is where the days-long delay stemmed. This of course made no sense whatsoever, since each system had been built using the exact same process and were identical except host names and serial hashes. It was like insisting every individual muffin from a bakery faced inspection before hitting the shelf. This manager didn't face criticism very well and refused to acknowledge her individual approval was a waste of time and needlessly repetitive. So, she blamed the build process for taking too long. WTF? The build takes less than an hour and a single technician could do about 6 simultaneously. So, of course, a meeting is called to see what, if anything, can be done to speed up the build process and reduce the delays being complained about. As the meeting starts, I mention I've brought a laptop and have hooked it into a projector so we can all witness the build process and attendees can actually watch it run while we talk, and I've brought a stopwatch as well. The manager goes into a diatribe about customer service, improving processes, collaboration between teams, yada, yada, while people keep glancing at the projected build process flying by without my touching a thing. This is where it gets weird. After nearly 30 minutes of her rambling, I'm finally allowed to pose a question and I ask politely, "Excuse me P, but where did you get the idea that the build process was to blame? What was the impetus of the idea that the automatic build took too long and is the cause of these delays?" Almost on cue, the laptop going through the build rebooted to finish off the last few installations and did a system chime, bing, showing it was restarting. She was startled and asked what was that? I answered it was the laptop finishing off the build and, oh by the way, according to the stopwatch we're about 33 minutes into the meeting when I started the process. She was livid and demanded to know why I was using obscene language. Everyone in the meeting went silent and turned with quizzical faces toward Manager P. I paused, not sure what the hell she was talking about, and asked, "Excuse me, what obscene language?" She replied she wasn't going to repeat it but was sure everyone else had heard me. Everyone started looking at each other and again back to Manager P. As politely as I could I asked P, "I'm not quite sure what language you're referring to, but as we can all see the system build is nearly done, We're not quite 40 minutes into the meeting according to the stopwatch, and every system is built using the same process, so could we possibly considering the necessity to review every system before it goes out to staff? After some time, she relented that she'd reduce the reviews to a system a week to make sure we're building the systems right, and her comment about language seemed to fade. A day later, I'm pulled into my manager's office and told I was being cited for using inappropriate language during the previous meeting. I'm shocked. What language? Can anyone tell me what I said that was inappropriate? I'm told that Manager P stated I'd thought her idea was without merit and used a sexual innuendo to get a reaction. Huh? WTF ? So I ask, what sexual innuendo? The manager coughs and mutters, she said, that you said, her idea was impotent. My jaw dropped and carefully I explain exactly what I'd in fact said was what was the greater than impetus less than dash of the idea. The manager closes his eyes and shakes his head. Okay, let me just confirm with someone else at the meeting and we can put this to rest. A day later, my manager confirmed what I'd in fact asked about in the meeting and had to have a polite, but rather awkward, conversation with Manager P on vocabulary. He asked me later to please use simpler words when dealing with Manager P, okay? I work remotely as a senior help desk tech for a huge medical company that's worldwide. I'm more or less Tier 3 support. I'm the guy they call when the on-site systems analyst can't figure it out. Today I received a ticket in my queue that was escalated twice. It stated that the user cannot launch an application, with error message attached. I decided to take a look since I was just waiting for some Synology backups to finish anyway. The ticket comes with a message from the end user that reads, I cannot connect to $application that requires Internet Explorer. When I'm accessing it with Internet Explorer, I am getting the message below. Hey, at least the end user knows that this particular applications does, in fact, require it to function. The note from T1 help desk says not sure what's going on. Escalating, and the note from Tier 2 says, technical issue. Escalating. This is normal when you have an application level issue that isn't fixed by a simple reinstall or something. But that message below read as follows. In order to access this application, you must install the J2SE plugin version 1.6.0/_27. To install this plugin, click here to download the oj2se.exe executable. Once the download is complete, double-click the oj2se.exe file to install the plugin. You will be prompted to restart your browser when the installation is complete. I copied this text word for word and sent it back to Tier 2 with the URL included. About 30 minutes later I get a message, that worked. Thanks. Yeah, if only there was some indication of what to do in this particular situation, right? I found out a little bit after this that the end user has an A+ certification. Customer needs a new TV, and wants their DVD player connected. C = customer. D = technician, me. After getting it all connected, they asked me some more questions about the DVD player they owned for the last 5 years. C, why is it that when I select HDD that it's higher quality? T, HDD stands for hard disk drive, or hard drive. It's the internal storage of the machine, not the DVD. Selecting HDD will record the TV programs to the internal hard drive. It has nothing to do with quality. C, I'm pretty sure it does. When I select HDD it's always in high quality. T, no, it has nothing to do with quality. You're selecting the storage location, you're going to record the program to the internal HDD, not the DVD. C, it definitely has something to do with quality. T, it doesn't. C, I believe it does. And why is it that the hard drive is smaller than the DVD? T, A. No? When I was here a year ago, it was 500 gigabytes in size. The DVD is 4 gigabytes in size. C, no, I'm right, the DVD is bigger. T, they're not going to put a 2 gigabytes hard drive inside of the DVD recorder. C, but at the top it says that it has only got 35 minutes of recording time remaining on the HDD. It said 35 hours 30 minutes, 35 hours, 30 minutes. T, no, that's 35 hours and 30 minutes of recording time. C, 35 hours. That's not possible. You can't put 35 hours onto there, that's not possible. Yes it is. We've got 5 terabytes hard drives nowadays, that's 5,000 gigabytes. That's over 300 hours of recording time compared to the one you have inside of the machine. It's not too far-fetched that it can contain 35 hours of recording time. No, it can only contain 1 hour. It has 500 gigabytes in storage, it can contain significantly more than 1 hour. No, it can't, it's only 1 hour max. Look, it says there, pointing at the screen 35 hours 30 minutes, 35 hours, 30 minutes. That is not possible. That doesn't exist. Sir, I studied IT for 2 years. I have been working with troublesome PCs since I was 8 and I've run my computer repair business for a year and a half now. I know what I'm talking about. 35 hours of recording time isn't crazy. The disk cannot have 35 hours of recording time. Disk. We're talking about the hard drive, the one that's selected at the top of the screen. Not the disk. Yes we are talking about the disk. No, we're not. The disk can hold an hour of recording time, yes, but the internal hard drive can hold 35 hours. 35 hours? No, that's not possible. The HDD inside of the machine, not the disk, the machine, can hold 500 gigabytes of data which is 35 hours of recording time. That's not possible. We've got hard drives with terabytes upon terabytes of data, that's 1,000s of gigabytes of data, yes it is. The disk can't hold that much. Disk? We're talking about the hard drive. You know what? Whatever. And the DVB? Me looking up what DVB stands for, that's a TV signal standard, nothing to do with quality or storage location. Okay. Well, before you leave make sure you select HDD, that gives the best quality. Sir, HDD is the internal drive, not the quality. XP stands for high quality, according to Google, that is what your quality is at. Okay. Got an email this morning from the customer saying that the DVD player is no longer recording. They got annoyed saying they didn't want me to change anything about their setup. I've only disconnected the HDMI cables from the old TV and put them back into the new TV. I haven't touched any settings on their DVD player. Told me they'd figure it out and I wouldn't have to come. At this point, customer can figure it out himself. I'm not going to help them with any queries regarding the TV. The elderly are really difficult to handle. Especially the senile ones, that keep forgetting what you just said after 30 seconds and then repeat what they said before.